Hey guys, got another video with my dad. We are going to do another Dynasty mock draft, but
Hey,
this
hey.
time we're going to do two rounds. I'm Isaac with Fun Football Podcast. I got my dad. Dad, how you doing?
Good.
Looks nice
Very good.
there.
How you
Nice
doing?
weather. Good. How's the weather in Arizona?
It warmed up last week, but it's a little cooler, so I'm able to sit outside, which is awesome.
There you go. It's pretty nice here in Texas too. Okay, so we've
Good.
got. But before I keep going, please go like and subscribe. Some of the videos have done. They've been. I've been watching. They've been getting some views, so I appreciate it. And this one, I'm hoping you guys enjoy. This is pre-draft, end of March. Some guys haven't done their pro days yet, but we're gonna go ahead and do a dynasty mock draft. This is our last one. I'm gonna show you guys the picks. We took Genty, Hampton, McMillan, Henderson, Burden, Warren, Golden, Johnson, Sampson, Ward, Shador Sanders, and Igbuka. This time we're going to do two rounds. That's from one a couple weeks ago. And we're just going to go ahead and start.
Yeah.
Dad, you want evens or odds?
I'll take what you don't want.
I think last time I had evens, so I'll go odds on this one, okay?
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and take Ashton Genty with the first pick because he is the first pick. The dude is rock solid. This guy is, if he doesn't pan, I'm going to be surprised. He's the number one in pretty much every mock draft that you're going to see. I would say, um,
Sure.
if
Yeah.
he doesn't go one, I'd be genuinely surprised in a rookie only draft. Um, he's as high as like a top 12 running back already. Um, he could be a generational talent. 4.42 speed. Nothing is like absolutely outstanding measurable wise. He's actually a little smaller. Med compares him to Maurice Jones-Drew, but his contact balance and his just the way he breaks away and just the dude produces.
Yeah.
Um,
He's like a little pinball out there, it looks like.
exactly. I think we both have fallen in love with this guy. All right, you are up, Dad. Second pick.
So
This is
second
gonna be interesting.
pick, it's not a super flex. But we always have to consider the top quarterbacks, right? So we consider Ward here. I kind of ruled him out this high.
Mhm.
Got to look at the receivers. Tet McMillan right now is still ranked number one in most people's rankings, although Matthew Golden's moving up. But it looks to me like Omarion Hampton is taking over the clear number two spot for running backs, and then also on the rankings, he looks to be almost. He's definitely a three down back in the NFL. He can do it all. So I'm going to go with Omarion Hampton. Oh, you
I
already
like
put him
it.
in there.
Yeah, I like it. No, I'm on it. I like
Okay.
him because I think there's like a chance he goes in the first round. It looks like he could go to Denver at 20 if he falls that far. There's a chance he goes even earlier in the
Mhm.
NFL draft, which is sneaking up in less than 4 weeks now. I like that pick.
Yeah, he had a great combine, and his tape is really good. He's great at a lot of different things. He can run people over. He can juke and make you miss. Some people say his vision isn't special, but I don't think it needs to be. He's just he's an all around. He's a good back. But your turn.
No, that's what I like about him is he looks like he's got size and speed. He could be not quite as big as Derrick Henry, but he runs with power. He doesn't have Genty's balance or vision, which is what makes Genty special. But I already
Mhm.
typed it in. I'm going Tet McMillan here because if I was up at
Ooh,
3 and Tet was available, I would go with him. I like him.
okay.
And I got to mix it up. I can't let you know my strategy. So I got to mess with you on these a little bit.
Well, Tet is
uh,
what 6'4", 215, and he's rated really high for receivers. So a lot of people are going to love him. I'm not at two with him, but three's a good pick.
Yeah, and if he fell to the Packers at 23 and we took him, I don't think either of us would be upset because he could go top 10. In our mock draft we just did a minute ago, he went what sixth to the
And what
Ravens.
do you what do you
So
run
this
on his
guy,
pro? What did he run his pro day? Was it
I think,
4.52? I think,
yeah, I think it
which
was
is
mid
great for his, which
fives.
is good for his size. It's really good for his size. So
Tip McMillan ran a on draft buzz. It was saying 4.55, 4.48, 40 yard. Oh no, he ran a 4.48.
there was a
Oh,
little bit of
this was a
controversy on that four four
yeah
eight. So we'll just
yeah
say 4.52, 4.55.
Yeah, some had them between 4.54 and 4.57. Some had them as low as 4.48. So in that 4.5, like you said, mid four
Yeah,
fives at the slowest. I'm worried about his separation ability, but he still looks like a pretty awesome talent. Um, I think you got to be happy with him at 3 in a dynasty. This is
for
probably
sure.
like the second of like 10 of these. So, Dad, you were up at you're up at 4. I think I
So you took my Tet pick.
yeah.
Um, the tier of running backs here, it was tier 1A, tier 1B, Genty, um, Amari and Hampton. There's three running backs that are kind of grouped in here, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Receiver wise, it's a little bit wide open right now. Luther Burden is falling a little bit. Golden's coming up, and you always have a Buku. But Cam Ward, the quarterback. Let's go ahead and take Cam Ward, the
This is sweet.
quarterback
We
at
we
4.
we changed it up on our last one. We did Henderson here, so I like it. So Cam Ward goes at 4. I like it.
Because if Cam Ward hits, he could be a top 6, 7, fantasy quarterback in the NFL. He's got some special talent. He's probably going to go number 1 in the draft, so we have to give him the respect. I think he's going to go at least in the top 4 in a rookie dynasty. So
I
I
like him.
like
I
I
almost
like
I
him.
almost I almost took Cam Ward at 3, so I get it.
Did
All
you?
right, yeah, and I like his talent, and he's going to go number 1 overall. So if he's going to go number 1 overall in the NFL draft, I don't think he's going to go ahead of Genty, but he's like you said, he's going to go top 4. I'm going to take your boy Travion Henderson here. Uh,
Travion
at
Henderson.
at 5, he looks like he ran out of a cannon. What was this guy's speed? Like, I
It
like this
wasn't
kid.
great. It was 4.42, I think.
Pretty good. It's not like
It's good.
electric, but
It's good. It's not what it looks like on film. He looks like
no,
he's
on
4.35.
what's crazy is that's about what Ashton Genty ran, but as fast as Henderson did, he looked like he came out of a cannon.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, he's quick.
he just, yeah, it's quick, man. Um, 10,000, a thousand rushing yards, 11 TDs. I wish that he'd been a little bit more productive. He looks like he might be more of a part-time player. That's why you've been pairing him with Genty or Hampton in some of our
Hmm.
mocks, and I've been liking that. So yeah, I like this pick here. I think it's exactly what you want in our league. You got 2 and 5, so you're landing Hampton and Henderson, which is stupid awesome combo if it happens. So all right. You're up at 6. Genty Hampton,
All
McMillan,
right. Well,
Warren,
it's
and
time.
Henderson.
It's time for Tyler Warren, the tight end, the super highly rated athletic tight end out of Penn State. He looks in an age where the tight ends are starting to hit year 1. He looks like another hit on year 1. Um, traditionally tight ends were a little bit you had to they were a little bit more missed than hit. But with Laporta and then Bowers, I think Ty Warren will continue in that trend of being a year 1 fantasy relevant player. He should be like a top 6 fantasy tight end if he hits, which I think he will. So I'm going to go with Tyler Warren there at 6.
I like it. I don't know where to go here because I think Shador could go now, but I think he could be a little later. I'm trying to pick as realistic as I can. I think Ward going high. I think there's a chance. I like the Warren pick. That's a great pick. It's
Uh
about
huh.
where he should go. It's about 6. I'm trying to be not obvious on all these, but I think the guy you got to go with here, we're doing this really similar to last time, is I think it's Luther Burden. Um,
Okay.
I think it could be, I think a really good pick here could be Matthew Golden. I really like him, but I just think Burden, it depends on where they go in the NFL draft and where they land. It's hard to know until these dudes land,
Uh huh.
and that's going to change their draft stock and dynasty significantly, in my opinion. Um, I don't know.
Right.
What do you
Right.
think? This is a tough one because I'm going to go
No,
Burden, but I
Luther Burns
I think
got
Golden.
yeah. Luther Burns a good, he's a good pick here too. He's got a lot. He's more polarizing. Some people really think he's as good or better than Tet. Other people think he's like the 4th or 5th receiver. Um, but if he hits, he has a really high ceiling. So I certainly see him middle of the first round is a good spot for him. So good pick.
And I almost went golden, which is what I'm betting you're gonna do. But yeah, that was close. I almost changed it up because Gordon. I think Golden's maybe like especially on Draft Buzz, he's actually eclipsed Burden. I like the tape on both. Golden's explosive, but it was close. So you're
Burden
up
should
at
get he should get first round draft capital, which is good. I'm going to switch it up a little bit and go with Caleb Johnson, the running back,
ooh.
because I know he didn't run a great 40, but he's a glider. I think he's got I think he's got um, his his el- his tackle eluding ability with his feet and his. I think his vision is better than what people are saying. I think he can be a three down back in the NFL, and I would take him here in the middle to late, first round with his talent and his potential. I know he's only a 1 year guy. He put up big numbers this last year, but I just can't ignore his how he looks on tape. He looks dynamic. He finds the holes. I think he uses his feet well in just minor adjustments, as he's moving. So when I see him, I like what I see, and I do have him rated pretty highly. So I picked Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kenshawn Judkins because I think this is the time. Even though I just talked about Matthew Golden, I'm looking at Fantasy Pros. I see him right at about 8, and we're at pick 9.
Uh huh.
Um, I really like him here. I think he has if he depends on the landing spot and how he produces, how he progresses. But uh,
Mhm.
I really like this kid. 5.5 yards per carry. He's got good speed. He's got good size. Um, 4.48. He's only 21. Well, yeah, he's only 21. He'll be 22 later this year, so he's not
Yeah, he's a
insanely
good
young, but
prospect too.
he's a good
If
he's a
there's-
good prospect. Yeah,
He rounds out that second tier of running backs, the three that we talked about: Henderson, Caleb, and Judkins. So
hmm
definitely a good pick there, Isaac.
so you
What
got
are
some
we at?
prospects here.
What are we
You're
at?
at
Number
10.
10?
You
All
got
right.
tight end. You got a quarterback. You got some more running backs. You got the receiver. There's a lot of stuff here.
Definitely gonna go Matthew Golden here.
Good pick.
He's got the opportunity to be a wide receiver. Well, fantasy, excuse me, I think his floor is like a fantasy wide receiver 2, 3, but his
hmm
ceiling could be, I mean, with that speed, he could rise up to the fantasy one ceiling, as in his career. So he's got good upside. He's got a good floor, depending on where he gets drafted. But this guy's got all of the skills um, to be a first round rookie draft pick for sure. So, and he'll probably be a first round NFL draft pick come April. So I go
I like it.
Matthew Golden.
I think he's going to go in the first round, so I didn't know if you were going to do it. I'm going to go Shador Sanders. I just don't think he slides out of the first round in a dynasty because people want
Hmm.
to land that quarterback. I think I misspelled it. Yeah. But I
That's
just think Shador. I think Shador goes before the end of the first round. Yeah, I did. Just making sure. Shador Sanders. I'm not entirely sure about his arm if it's strong enough for the NFL, but I think the dude is going to go in the top 10 in the NFL draft. So he's going to end
mhm.
up going in the first in a lot of dynasty drafts. I don't know what's going to actually happen in ours, but I'm projecting 2 quarterbacks to go in the top 12. So just based on need, I think he goes 10 to 12 in that range. Maybe somebody takes a reach on him, goes higher, and it works out for him. But depending on where he
Good.
lands, he does process the field quickly. Over 70% completion his last year at Colorado. He reminds me of Tua in the right system. He could put up big yardage if he has talent around him. So I like him, and I think he goes at 11.
Good pick. I mean, Shador's he's accurate. He's good. He's gonna get first round draft capital, obviously. So that's a good pick. My 12 is gonna be Mika Abuka, wide receiver. It's funny
Mhm.
because when I first started reviewing, they said receiver was really weak this year. But it's funny we've got 4 receivers in the first round. of the rookie draft. I mean, Agbuka will probably get drafted again in the first round of the NFL draft, depending on where he goes. He's a smooth route runner. He's very dependable. His floor again should be pretty stable floor, and he's got a very capable ceiling with his size, his speed, his combination of what he provides, consistency. So I like Abuka there at 12.
Okay. Okay, so now we're into the second
Second round.
round. You got to remind me, what pick am I? I'm the second pick. I picked
Hmm.
14. So I'm up in the next pick. This is interesting because I'm getting a good look at what's available. There's some good players left here. You took Golden. I think the pick here is actually, just because I'm surprised he fell out of the first round, and I don't know if he actually will. I think it's Travis Hunter. If you if he's going to play receiver, which is what I'm starting to think he has a chance to do, he could be one of the best receivers in this draft. And I don't know if somebody's going to draft him as a. I think he's going to play both in the NFL. I just don't know if he's going to play primarily corner and situational receiver, or if he's going to play mostly receiver and nickel corner, which is what I'm starting to think he's going to do. And if
Right.
he does lean that way and plays mostly receiver, and he produces like people think he could, I think he's at worst a top, like a high second round pick in the dynasty draft. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go Travis Hunter.
It's a good pick there. He's a wild card, right? So he's going to have to go.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
this is about where he goes if he doesn't go higher. So
Exactly. So you're up for me now. Actually, this is my pick in our
I'm
dynasty
up.
draft.
I'm up at 14, and Isaac, this is your first pick, right?
Yep.
Um, so you would have been waiting for a receiver, but doesn't look like one of them fell. The running backs, it depends on who you like. You've got a good tight end in your league, but right here, I think 14 generally. Um, I would go with Cam Scatterbo,
Okay.
and because I like his. I know he's not super fast, but I like his athleticism at the combine was pretty damn good. This guy can. He's got cuts. He can move laterally really well,
Hmm.
and he's extremely strong. My worry for him is that he seeks out contact, so that could limit his the amount of years he'll play in the NFL because he's going to be looking for contact so often instead of looking to get away from it. But from a sheer running back perspective, when you watch him play, you can see it should not only translate to the NFL, but I think that he will be an asset for an offense to have on the field. So, and when you get that in the second round of a dynasty rookie draft, I think that's good value there. So Scattaboo, I go at 14.
I like it. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Colson Loveland here. Like I'm torn between him and somebody else, but I think that it's time for another tight end to go. And depending
Uh-huh.
on where this guy goes in the NFL draft, he has a chance to go in the first round. And I think somebody's gonna, just like quarterback, they're gonna want us another tight end. And Tyler Warren went a while ago, and I think somebody looking for a tight end. It depends on who's drafting here at 15. It's not me.
Sure.
Um, it depends
It's
on who's
me.
drafted. Yeah, there you go. It's who's drafted in your draft. I think Loveland's good value in the second round. He's got good size, good speed. I think he's got a really good chance to be a producer in the NFL. I'm a fan of him. I like Tucker Craft for the Packers. I don't think they need him, but and I think he goes in the first. But I like this kid.
Yeah.
um,
Good pick. I
that
like Coastal Loveland too.
yeah. So I'm gonna go Colson Loveland.
So what are we at? We're at the fourth pick in the second round.
Yep.
This guy fell a little bit too far, probably. Again, a really strong running back class here. So Dylan Sampson should go here.
Damn. So that's what
Um,
I was hoping fell to me because I got the next two picks.
so
I got the
Dylan
two picks.
Dylan Sampson checks most of the boxes. He will run between the tackles, but he's got the speed to get to the outside. He's got you know the um, the happy feet or whatever they call it. He's pretty skill. He's pretty well rounded, and to get that level of back, I mean, I could have went Sampson instead of Scattaboo um, in my 14th pick, but to get Dylan Sampson, I think anywhere after the first round in the rookie draft is again good value. This guy should see the field as an NFL pro. So
I like it. So I'm up, and I'm going to shock you. I'm not going to go with Trey Harris. I'm going to go with I think our favorite receiver. I think is actually better than Trey Harris. He's bigger he's faster. I'm going to go Jaden Higgins here because I
hmm
think that he's going to be a stud, and I think there's a good chance the Packers actually take him. You're looking at a kid who's 6'4", 215 pounds from Iowa State, 4.447 speed. He's a plug and play receiver. He produced. He's got a high RAS. He checks all the boxes of the type of player the Packers would
yeah,
take.
for sure.
He was awesome last year, almost 1,200 yards with 87 receptions, 9 TDs, third team All American honors, one of the most reliable targets in college football. He developed into a completely unknown prospect into a total package receiver by the end of his college career. And if he keeps developing, he could be a legit number one in the NFL. I like him. So
For sure.
if he
Yeah.
falls to 17 for me, I shouldn't be saying all this now. There are other guys I like here a lot, but I'm going to go Jaden Higgins. And that
Good
is one of
pick.
my picks in our draft if I don't move up.
Good pick.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? One, two, three, four. That was the fifth pick in the second round. So
And I
now
have this pick as well. Yeah.
we're almost in the middle. Um, there's a lot to choose from here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to choose from, to be honest. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you have running backs. There's different opinions on the running backs that could go here, right? So I
Exactly.
would I would say there's a tier here of about three or four different running backs. Receivers, there's a couple of receivers that could actually go here as well.
Trey Harris.
Um,
Yeah.
Trey Harris, for example. Um, some people like Mason Taylor as at the number three tight end. I'm not quite that. I have him at four. But the third, let's go with the third quarterback, Jackson Dart.
Yeah. There you
Because
go. That's probably
quarterbacks
what I
have
would do.
to are going to be picked, and Jackson Dart's going to be in the first round of the NFL draft. He's going to get a chance to be an NFL starter, and he's got a pretty good skill set. He's not as tall as I would like. None of these quarterbacks are as tall. They're all about 6'2", 6'2.5". I wish they, either Cam Ward or Shador and Jackson were a little bit taller, but that's okay. At least I think that's what their height is. But um, other than that, there's not much I don't like about Jackson Dart, so I'm going to take him here
I agree.
at,
I think he actually
at
could
the
be a better.
206.
He could be better than Shador Sanders, honestly.
Yeah, he
I
could
think
be.
I think he could be. All right, let's check this out. So that was my pick. So if this like in our actual draft, so I would have ended up with Scatabo, Higgins, and Dart. That's a I can't I won't lie, man. If that happens, I'm gonna be very happy. That's a good trio, running back, receiver, quarterback. I like it. Um, I'm up here, and there is a big range of running backs I like here, but I think my favorite prospect left is now it's Trey Harris.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's time, and if I let him slide by me, that'd be hard to do. But the fact that
hmm
he's there and was available, Trey Harris looks. I don't love the 4.5 speed, but I do love what he does at receiver. He separates well. This guy, I think, he produces. I think he could be really good. So he could end up being. He looks like a number two in the NFL, but you get number two at pick 19. That's great value. If he ends up exceeding those expectations and being a number one pick or number one receiver at 19, you're set. So
Yeah,
I think he has that potential.
I think that's a good pick. 20, which is the
Wait,
206. No, what is this?
no, this is 208.
208.
Mhm.
Um, the running backs just keep coming because it is a deep class. So I like Devin Neal. Um,
Yep.
he is just a very smooth back. He's gonna be the pros pro. The coaches are gonna love this kid. He may not be the feature back for an NFL team, but he will be part of the game plan, and he'll be part of a committee for sure. And when he's out there, he's great. He's very very good pass catcher. He can do everything, and he does everything pretty well. He's not super fast. He doesn't have that top top shelf speed, but he's very shifty. He's very smart. He's a very good quality running back. So I'm going to take him.
I like it, Dad. Good pick. All right, so we got a few left. I'm gonna go with. I really like. I like that pick. I like the Devin Neal pick. I'm gonna go with Alec Aomaner here, the receiver. I feel like it's time. I almost took him with the last pick. He's someone I think that could be on the board for the Packers in the second round. That I actually think could work out really well. 6'2", 4'4", 6'2", 206 pounds, a little light. He's an X receiver on the outside. Um,
Okay.
he had 100-yard catch, 100-yard performances. He's got size and speed. I wish that he'd produced a little bit more. He had like 830 yards, but he was steady. I'm hoping that there's another gear to this dude. It's not just
He,
about stats, but can he
he
be a
could
number
have a
one? And
pretty, he could have a good ceiling if he hits well in the NFL. So this is worth the gamble here. It's worth it.
Alec. Yeah, I'm hoping there's another gear where he's not just another like he looks like the prospects on the Packers, which are good players. I don't know if he's got that number one ceiling, but it looks like it could be there. I like that potential more in Trey Harris and Jay Higgins, but for the value at 21, it's good. So you're up at 210, 10th pick of the second round.
210. Now we're just, we're taking some gambles on people we think could hit. Um, and I think this is a pretty deep running back class, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I like Martinez here.
Ooh, all right.
I think he's gonna bring value to an NFL team and could be a lead back in a committee role.
Okay.
So Damian Martinez, he can pretty much do everything between the tackles. He's not your speedster type back, but he can be a first, second down back, and he's he is capable to catch passes out of the backfield. He's a pretty hard runner, and
Mm-hmm.
along with that, he didn't get full time opportunity. He was sharing, but his measurables look pretty good. So I think at this point you're taking some risks, but the upside for Damian is he could be an NFL starter.
I like it. You know what's funny is that I'm not as big on Mason Taylor. I was looking at tight end here. I think
Uh-huh.
I'm actually gonna go with Harold Fannin Jr. I'm a little torn between him and Arroyo, and it looks like they're kind of like in that next tier of tight ends. Him and Mason Taylor,
Good
those
pick.
three. I feel like Loveland and um, Tyler Warner are kind of in a class of their own. I think that Fannin Jr. I think another tight end goes. People tend to before you get to the next round, they tend to want to fill certain positions, and that's why I think another tight end goes. I think this could be a range for a quarterback, possibly Jalen Milrow, but thought it might be a little bit early. But those tends of things tend to happen in fantasy drafts. So I'm
Yep.
going to go tight end because I could just think positionally it's time for another tight end to go.
Good. And then for the last pick of the second round, the 212, and for their draft, I am looking at the quarterback who's got the second fastest speed, I think in quarterback history at the combine,
Mm-hmm.
or not at the combine, but in his pro day. What did he run? Did he run a 4.38?
Hold on, I think so. 1 second.
Talking about Jalen Milrow. Yes, he's a project, but
He ran a 4.37 second unofficial, but yeah,
so
unofficial
so
ranges. Some had him at 4.4 to 4.45, but
so
that's still really good.
the reason I'm taking a gamble here is because if he can figure out how to combine his almost elite running ability, he looks like a running back out there when he's running.
Yeah.
And he's got the size kind of a bigger running back. And he's running when he's running, seems like he's running away from people, you know. Um,
Hmm.
and I think the speed said that as well. So if he hits as a fantasy, and as a quarterback in the NFL, he's going to be a top 3 or 4 or 5 fantasy quarterback just because of his running, how good he is at running the football. Because we all know, running, having a fantasy quarterback, having somebody who runs and puts rushing yards on the table is kind of the secret and the secret sauce that you need to get to that. Most of the time, you need to get to that top 3, top 4 fantasy production. So we know he can run. He can be a great runner from a quarterback position. So I'm going to take a gamble on him.
I like it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and recap this thing. This was fun, Dad.
All right.
All right, I really enjoyed this. This was cool. We gotta do more of these. All right, Ash and Genty went number 1. I took them. You took Hampton number 2. I took
Good.
McMillan number 3. This was way different than last time. There were some similarities, but I was looking at it throughout. You took Cam Ward 4. I like that because I think he goes top 5. Trevion Henderson went 5th, and I know you probably wouldn't take Ward. Henderson fell to you at 5th. That's in our dynasty of 2 and 5. You took Tyler Warren 6. That's where he went in the other one. That's a good landing spot. I took Luther Burden the 3rd. I'm still a big fan of him. If he's there for the Packers, I like him at 23. Caleb Johnson, good pick at 8. He's one of my favorite running backs too. Kinshawn Judkins at 9. Very good running back. Matthew Golden fell all the way to 10. Shadur goes at 11. I took him at the end of the first. And then last pick of the first round, you took Ibuka. Then I went.
That was good value.
Yeah, it's a good first round. Ibuka at 12 is awesome. He fell to 12 in the other one too. And he's a good player, man. I like if he fell to me at 15, I'd be happy. Travis Hunter goes 13. My pick 14, you took me Scatabo for me. I took Colson Loveland at 15.
Nice.
You got Dylan Sampson. You took him right before my pick, which is what I'm worried is gonna. I'm worried.
Sorry about that.
Happen. No, you're good because I like him. Sadly, I wish you did. Gene Higgins, another player I do like. Big, good size and speed. Jackson Dart. It's funny that you talked about that because that's somebody who I might actually take at 18. I'm a big fan of him. Yeah. Trey Harris. I let Trey Harris slide, which was really tough to do. He went to 19. You took Devin Neal at 20. And then I took Alec Aomaner at 21. You got Damian Martinez. Now I know you like him at 22. I took Harold Fannin Jr. at 23. And then you took a quarterback. I like that it ended tight end quarterback because I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And at this point, we're getting into more, the percentages of them hitting for fantasy, go down tremendously now. So they're really just kind of gambles, I think. And that's okay.
I agree.
Harold Fannin Jr. Was a great gamble. Same with Milroe at the end of the round there.
Milroe's 40. Might have just bumped him into being a second rounder in the NFL draft, maybe a first rounder in the NFL draft, and a second rounder in this. I like it. Right. All right, guys. Please go like and subscribe. We will have way more videos to come. Thank you, Dad. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, guys.